There's many reasons people enter the crypto space. Some are fascinated by blockchain technology. Some love the Web3 aspect of play and earn NFTs and the metaverse. Others are entranced by a new way of decentralized finance. And of course, there are the Bitcoin purists. Today's guest is in blockchain for what we at the Republic of Bad Cryptopia would label the right reasons. Passionate about the power of the immutable ledger and how it helps secure our inalienable rights, Chairman Elijah Bowdre has been talking the talk and walking the walk for many years. You'll love his enthusiasm for the space, which is much needed during a bear market. Grab some marshmallows and join us around the fire pit for a great conversation and a little bit of saying the quiet parts aloud on episode number 657 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
And for those of you watching the video version of this podcast on YouTube, Rumble, or Odyssey, sign language brought to you courtesy of Sir Lord Travis Wright. Hello, good sir.
Hello. Put the thought like this.
No.
If I do sign language, I thought I was supposed to be deaf. I don't know.
I mean, there's people that do sign language for the deaf.
That's true.
They don't actually have to be.
Well, luckily, the deaf people are not offended because they couldn't hear it.
Because they didn't hear That's Sir Lord Travis Wright. I'm Sir Lord Joel Tom. This is the Bad Crypto Podcast, episode 657. And we're glad you're here. This is going to be a great show.
I don't know why we're being silly when we have the guest that we have on. He's a pretty serious guy doing pretty serious stuff from Miami. Here we are being silly.
That's because we
felt the urge to be silly, but I apologize in advance because this guy's really good.
We don't apologize for being silly. It's baked into the
No. It says in the Constitution, in the First Amendment, no hate speech and no misinformation. It's right there. Article subdirectory 2-3 paragraph 4 says that or something.
Well, there's nothing but love in this interview with Chairman Bowdre. Let's get to it. It was once said that we need an immutable ledger for inalienable rights. Trav, do you know who said that?
I do know who said that because we have notes that we go over before the show, and so we learn the things and we talk about stuff.
So I thought you were going to be silly.
We have a little pre-show with the guest, and then we come in, and then we know exactly what.
I figure you'd come in and be like, let's say Yiping, Karl Marx, So
right.
None of those guys.
That's what you get for assuming. See, you're just assuming the wrong things today.
I'm perpetually making an ass out of myself, and intend to do so more today, right in front of the originator of that quote, who has also said to us that blockchain is his life. His name is Elijah Bowdre, but he is the chairman. Get this, and that's what we're going to refer to him going forward. He is with the Miami-Dade County Cryptocurrency Task Force. There we go. Not the task force. The task force. He is the chairman of that. He's got all kinds of interesting things to tell us about what's happening in Florida, especially in Miami, one of the most forward-looking and thinking blockchain cities. Mr. Elijah, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Bowdre, all three of you, welcome to the Bad Crypto Podcast.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited, and it's a pleasure to be here.
I hope you're just as excited when we're done. That's, if we can, our exit interview, after the show, we're like, are you glad you came? And, you're already off screen, you've dropped the mic and you're done. Then we know for sure how we've done.
We're still waiting for somebody to say they enjoyed coming on the show after 5.5 years. Somebody eventually is going to enjoy coming on the show.
Yeah, we're going to keep doing the show until somebody says they have.
Well, I mean, you've got, if it's about the blockchain, then you already got me.
You've come to the right place, good sir. Tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of the Reader's Digest version, and we'll get into all the blockchain goodness.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm Elijah John Bowdre, or Chairman Bowdre, of the Miami-Dade County Cryptocurrency Task Force. Originally from Long Beach, California, but actually I spent my early career was in finance, working doing hedge fund private equity sales in New York for J.P. Morgan until '09, when there was a little thing called the global financial crisis that washed me out, and I moved to China. I did a study abroad prior to going to work, and those connections there after my layoff from working 06 to '09 in New York, got an opportunity to start a business, actually a joint venture, one of the largest kind of entertainment and logistics entities in China, and with my own company. And it was there doing sourcing. So I've sourced over 1,200 different products from China. Lived there 9 years, speak Mandarin, and been to probably 40 cities in China, done business in 11 countries. Made my first $1 million when I was 24 in China under my company. But then it was 2012 when a client reached out to me, a friend of a friend, and said that they wanted to do a transaction. They wanted to source something from China, but they had a peculiar caveat. They didn't want to use dollars or money. Well, they said, and I'm thinking, okay, money. You want to use Singaporean dollars? Maybe you want to use, Swiss francs? Like, what's the unit? It's fine. Come to find out, they didn't want to use any fiat currency. Period. They wanted to use the internet protocol called Bitcoin. And in 2012, I had never heard of it before. I was living in China, making a lot of money, having a lot of fun. But I was skeptical. Like everyone, I was like, what do you want to pay with? Internet coins? Like, oh yeah, it's untraceable. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. But I took it to my partner, and he was like, hey, you know what? You should look into this. This is the future. Is decentralized peer-to-peer cash. And I'm like, okay, we'll use it for trade settlement. And I actually did that for quite a while, make good money off it. But it was in the early days, it was very analog. I had to actually I had like 8 accounts. When I first met Bitcoin, it was 85 cents.
When you first met Bitcoin, is that what you said?
Yes.
When we first met, by the way, it's not internet coins, it's magical
Internet
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do go on.
I'm trying to keep this concise as possible. I don't want to get too long-winded, but I think it's an interesting story. Being there on the early days, seeing all the how it was graphic. I had to actually take these coins, and then I had to actually find someone to trade with peer-to-peer, literally. And the only people who really traded was the 24-hour arcades, and they had some they had gambling in the back room. So you go in there, you can play taking tag at 4 a.m. Or Dynasty Warriors, but then in the back they're playing mahjong, big stacks of money, cigarettes, noodles, and then this guy comes in from America, say, hey, I've got my computer and I got these internet coins, and so trade me your big stack, all this money you guys are gambling, trade me for these internet coins, at the end of the night. And I did that for like a year, actually, making this trade happen. And then we stopped doing that. I actually ended up moving to Hong Kong and got married and started another business. We opened an office in Hong Kong, and our business was expanding. And I had a friend of mine approach me and say, hey, he said he was doing cross-border Bitcoin arbitrage. And you want to go into business with me? I'm making an exchange. And I was like, well, what's the name of the exchange? He was like, BitMEX. And I was like, oh, it's Mexican Bitcoin? He was like, no, not Mexican Bitcoin. It's like Mercantile Exchange. So my good friend Arthur Hayes, actually, I was there. He actually makes me one to be one of the original investors. I didn't invest into BitMEX, but I did invest into my first 10 coins as an investment. Because when I was living on mainland China, it was just as a trade thing. I was getting them, and it was like hot potato. I wanted to get rid of them as fast as possible, and get my actual money and just amongst the other things that I had going on in China. When I
get your actual money.
Yes. Right. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Exactly. Right. So that was my thinking back then. But he approached me to be a part of it. I was like, I don't know about the cross-border exchange arbitrage, But how much are those coins now? He's like 500 each. I'm like, blew my mind. You know, coming from a finance background, you know, I'm a top graduate from Florida Agricultural Mechanical University, Florida A&M in Tallahassee, School of Business and Industry. Worked with JP Morgan, worked with Goldman Sachs. I've done a number of different banking things. So instantly, I calculated. I was like, wow, I would be like, I would be substantially rich. You know, I would have 30, 40 million if I would have one of those deals that I did and just sat on those 10,000 Bitcoin or those 18,000 Bitcoin that I moved around. So I was like, oh, you know what? Okay, I'm not.
That was 89 cents. You said they were 89 cents.
Yeah, and now they're 500. Now when he's sitting across from me, I'm like, wow. I was like, well, let me get 10. And those 10 coins saved my life. I'll fast forward to that later, but the coins. And from that time, actually, I hosted myself and him, actually, Arthur Hayes and myself. We hosted the 2014 Blockchain Expo in Hong Kong. Actually, the name of our show. So as the chairman, I'm the crypto chair for Dade County, which I actually wrote the Florida's blockchain legislation. The first blockchain legislation is a House bill for virtual assets and digital currencies. And also I authored the legislation for our crypto payment policy for Dade County and the actual resolution for the blockchain board for Dade County, also authored as well. But even before that, from 2016 to pandemic and beyond, there was a person that was going around talking about blockchain and crypto that was helped the actual county mayors, city council members, firefighters, police, other public officials download their first blockchain wallets and sell them their first Bitcoin. All the quinceañeras and bar mitzvahs and cafecitos really sow on the ground, preparing the way for Miami to be where it is today, which is the crypto capital of the world, or at least of America. And there was that one part that was me. I don't know if I said that, but that was when I was. And going back into Hong Kong, I got back to America actually through a project called the Miami World Center. I was involved with a project called EB5, and we actually got a considerable amount of money that was invested from Hong Kong into Miami. And I came over with that project, but I was always with the blockchain parts.
It's fascinating. You've done a lot of stuff. You're over there in China, and you learned about Bitcoin, and then so that was this new project you're talking about. That's what moved you back to Miami.
Well, the Miami World Center and a program called EB5, which is an investor visa for like Chinese families or investors. They spend $500,000 to $1 million in America on a real estate project or create jobs. They're able to get a basically passport or for them and their entire family. So it's an investor visa program. I was a big part of that, and made some good coinage, but that's what brought me back to America. But with America, I was still evangelizing for the blockchain. After that 2014 hosting the expo, my partner and I, Edwin Rice, who's also a FAMU Rattler alumni from our school, and he's the one who actually told me to go into crypto. Him and his father, Ed's father, were running a prime brokerage in China. So these two African-American gentlemen, father and son, running about $190 million of Chinese money in China. People don't even understand like what that means, but that's my partner. And at the time, that's what they were doing. And he was like, hey, yeah, that's the new finance is going to be the future. We started a company called Gem Vault, and Gem Vault's purpose is basically to we liquefied illiquid luxury assets. So think of it just kind of a luxury digital kind of pawn broker, right? So if you got grandma's necklace that's $10,000 or however much, you can't break one ruby off and go and buy a loaf of bread or something like that, right? You have to sell it all or not sell it at all. And so what we actually did was allow people to take these precious stones, rubies, sapphires, emeralds, diamonds, and we would take the custody of it. Mason and Mason with the custody would take all the data, insurance data, all the different metadata, upload it, tokenize it, fractionalize it, and sell, make GBC, Jimbot coin. And we did that for about 3 or 4 years. As a matter of
So
fact,
you were validating the authenticity of these things, and then you were offering them a token in exchange,
based on
because so it's like sort of like validation with authentication with NFTs now. Like, this is real. Sometimes you don't know some of these things are real, right? You're like, is this really real? Especially when you're dealing with China. I've been to China a couple times, and I've seen those factories, and it's like, oh, here's where they make the Gucci. And it's like, well, it's not really Gucci, but it really sure looks like Gucci. Oh, take me to the place where they're making those Air Jordans. I want to go give me a pair of them. But it is, so it's like when you don't have authentication there, that creates a big challenge. And so that's a really big use case, I think, for blockchain and NFTs.
Absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I love China. Yeah, I have some wonderful friends, wonderful people out of there. China as a nation has challenges like every nation. But
well, Chinese government's a little wonky, but the people there, the people I met are super friendly and awesome people. It's crazy what's going on there right now with those protests and welding people in their homes. So because we don't want you to give COVID to people, like, it's just crazy what's going on right now. So all eyes are on China right now. At least they should be, because it's kind of a test ground, I think, for some of the authoritarian craziness, to see how far you can push people before they fight back. And you can't be welding people in their homes, just so you know. What the hell is that all about, anyway? But I digress.
Yeah. Well, it's it's kind of for me, it's like a full circle thing, right? Be American, and then to go to China and discover this phenomenon, right? To really realize what's happened or what's happening, right? And understand that we truly are peering over the precipice of a paradigm, preparing to pioneer a new path, realizing that our physical world can only be accepted as first, and that our digital reality can no longer be denied at last. These tectonic transitions are caused by technology's position and the prodigious potential to transform every tier in class. And so I've been entrusted this vision so that with prudent decisions, we all can be multiplied by this immutable math. That's why I, as the chairman of the Miami-Dade County Cryptocurrency Task Force, I solemnly swear to always espouse to emulate the benevolent idioms of this beautiful immutable ledger, to be transparent, to be distributed, all power to everyone, overpower to no one.
That's poetry right there. That's what that is. I want to put some music underneath that, that builds and rises.
Lots of alliteration and P's and T's.
Right. So it was a couple of years ago that Mayor Suarez had declared that he wants Miami to be the crypto capital of the world. Right. Have you met with him?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say Francis. Mayor Suarez, excuse me, pardon me.
You can call him Francis. That's his name. Yeah.
A good friend of mine. That's a good friend of mine. Let's say that's a good friend. Miami, man. Miami is a very dynamic region and place, and like any city, though, it's people, the mentality and the instincts of the people are really the basis that has allowed this to proliferate here, and for Miami as a municipality to take the lead and be the pioneer for this experiment, I guess you could say. We're the first to accept crypto for our taxes and fees. We're the first to actually pay our employees their regular salaries and their retirement benefits in crypto. And now the next phase is we're going to launch our crypto yearbook during December 2nd during Basel, because we're having our policy panel. But also the pilot. We're having a blockchain municipal application pilot. So we've got about 75 businesses that are signed up right now, more that are actually going to be submitting. Every non-monetary, they all have some type of monetary side to it, but just not dealing with straight like payments, outside of like payments or collecting fees. application for municipality. So we've got things like blockchain for sewer systems, blockchain for traffic lights system, crypto IDs. There's a host of different innovations for the DMV and different services that they use blockchain or crypto protocols, NFT tickets, and there's all kinds of things that people, they have no client because maybe they want to have a government client or a municipality to have a huge test case, but no government is using any blockchain or crypto protocols at this current moment. Miami will be the first, and then this pilot program will see a great proliferation.
So
we know that
happening? Is that happening now, Elijah? Or are people able to receive paychecks, choose to receive Bitcoin instead of dirty fiat?
yeah, they can choose. Yeah, exactly. It's so that's what I'm just make sure that we, it's not a, no one is elected to take 100% of their check in crypto or anything like that, and nobody has the people participating in it are people, it's not, it hasn't been wide scaled out there. Like there's not 10,000 employees that are using it, right?
But if I'm an employee, I can say
yeah.
I want $200 in my weekly paycheck in Bitcoin
Per week and crypto, yes, in Bitcoin. There's a couple of different options you actually can. You got Litecoin. There's a couple of ones Ethereum that you want to convert it to. Yes.
So even the fact that crypto goes up and crypto goes down, like that would be one of my questions for accepting crypto, right? So I'll go back to Trevor Lawrence, who's the quarterback for the Jags. He took his signing bonus, Joel. I don't know if you know, it's a $54 million signing bonus in Bitcoin. I think it was 54 when Bitcoin was like $50,000. And so now, or it was 20, he got 24 million in a signing bonus, and now it's worth about 8 million because crypto has gone down. So how does that impact you guys, or how do you sell that to the team when you're like, okay, crypto goes up, crypto goes down, we're going to take taxes in this, but what if, like Solana, I don't know if you guys are accepting that or whatever. It was a big coin at one time. Now it ain't worth shit. But it's like, oh, we accepted Solana and now it's not worth much now. Like what happens in those scenarios, Elijah, when crypto goes down and you guys are taking out a municipal?
That's a great question. And so the number one thing for us is that the government has basic charge, right? Protect the public trust, right? So it's first protection, and then incremental gain, right? So they're not into investments or funny gambling, right? That could possibly lose and hurt the public, right? So if we collect $5 million, it needs to be $5 million. It doesn't. The government's not really interested. If it's $6 million, well, we collect 5 and then we got 6, a bonus million. Okay, that's fine. But if it's supposed to be 5 and it's 4,449, if it's $1, right? If it's $1 million up, great, fine, that's fine. If it's $1 off, all hell breaks loose. So
not fine.
Right, exactly. Yeah. $1 off. Yeah, you're right. So that's the government mentality. And basically what it is handled. That risk is like a credit card merchant processor, right? That risk is purchased by third-party vendors who take on that risk for a fee, but that fee is less than 1%, right? Where some credit cards can charge 2%, 3%. All of our crypto vendors can only charge under 1% for their fee, but that's the fee that's their benefit for buying the risk of the volatility of any of the particular coins. So there is no government blockchain person like employee like, hey, I'm the blockchain processor for the county, and right, there's third parties who do blockchain, right? But it's one-to-one. Whatever they collect, they're on as a rail, as an option to increase the options for people to pay. Right? But
let me ask you this in another way then. So if somebody's paying with crypto for taxes in Miami-Dade County, does that essentially, are they swapping that crypto to cash immediately so you guys have those stable coins? Or is it because the volatility seems like it could create a problem?
No, yeah. So I got dropped off when I was making this explanation. What you're saying is exactly that dilemma is the biggest dilemma of why task force was even formed. And so the short answer is there's a third party who purchases that risk,
Gotcha.
and they're compensated with a nominal fair fee that they're able to charge on those payments. But it's 1-to-1 to the county. So if somebody owes 100,000, the county receives 100,000. No matter if that value went up to $1 million, the price spiked. Oh wow, the county is only supposed to get 100,000, but now it's $1 million. Then
Yeah.
I mean that's fine.
That
That's
third
nice.
party risk provider is the one that's going to get that upside because they're the ones taking the risk. County just wants $1 million. They don't care if it's $1 million, $2 million, 900,000. They need $1 million, and so give those other guys a chance to ride. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that's what I tell people. It's just because I got a lot of crypto bros like and I'm like hey listen, I'm right with you. I've been in since I've been in it since
89 cents.
Yeah. That's the beginning of time. That's about as early as you can get there. So you guys, the Miami-Dade County Cryptocurrency Task Force, your goal is to get so that municipalities and corporate entities will use crypto for taxes and for employee paychecks, and you believe that this can be a hyperbolic event that then goes across our country to begin with. How does that happen? Or other, people from various cities, leadership from other cities already meeting with you? Or are they looking at your model? Explain to me how this rolls out and where you see it rolling out first.
Yes. Wow. Just to back up, the short answer is yes. There is I've been very blessed that for a number of reasons, but particularly because I've been in the blockchain space for a while, and actually, my partner and I, we actually use it. We're real blockchainers. Right? We've created. We have our own company. We service clients in Singapore and China and Hong Kong prior to coming back to America, and then beginning this political foray, and then bringing blockchain into the political sphere, and and then now everybody's blockchain Miami. It's like it's these things have to kind of build up. But one of the first things, we're not the first. Miami is the premier, so definitely. But the pioneer goes to our good friends in Wyoming, Cheyenne specifically. We have a huge connection with our friends in Wyoming and Cheyenne. Huge respect for all the legislatures and all the other blockchain buddies that out there. In 2017, Wyoming was led by Caitlin Long and Senator Rufus, Senator liberal representatives, Marianne Orr, also our Matt Hoffman, who's the lead attorney, for a lot of the Representative Ocean. Man, I'm trying to remember all the names, but it's a lot of names. We go out to Wyoming and visit our friends. But 2017, they were the pioneers of blockchain legislation, or actually getting laws on the books for crypto. Caitlin, who was a University of Wyoming alum and a renowned Wall Street banker, she got into crypto early, wanted to come back and make a donation to the University of Wyoming and crypto. And the university was like, well, can you just give a check or give cash? We can't take this. And she's like, wait a minute. The whole reason I'm giving it is that defeats the whole purpose, right? If I have to convert this to fiat, that's kind of like what I'm not about. That triggered them getting guidance from the state of how to custody this digital asset. And that actually was the impetus to start the sandbox. And they got 25 pieces of legislation passed surrounding like different the existence and the peripheral elements of the blockchain within the municipal government and banking system, things like that. And just recently, they had another pack of laws that went through for blockchain and made history with the special deposit, the special purpose deposit institution, or Speedy Bank, and the public DAO. where you can actually make a DAO as an LLC, which has amazing implications for all kind of things. I mean, obviously it's super early for the industry for those things, but they're there, and we will look back. We'll look on those as this proliferates, as one of the structures and models for this new era. I took a trip. We did when I first became chair in September to Wyoming, and we was like 13 other representatives, and then we started something called the U.S. Crypto Policy Alliance, and that is like a alliance between Cheyenne and Wyoming, Miami and Cheyenne, but then also 28 other state level blockchain associations. And basically, our plan was kind of simple: to support each other legislatively through the proliferation of legislation, but also really to copy Matt's bill for the digital, for virtual assets, digital currencies, the existence of blockchain and municipal structure. Edit it for whatever your regional, parish, counties, however it applies to you locally, but get it submitted. And last year we had 11 that got submitted, including mine, that went through, and. Those efforts are still going on. We've had the policy panel in New York for the U.S. Policy Alliance with the city. So we're advising City of New York and Mayor Adams and his blockchain municipal integration. Jack Dorsey and Jay-Z have a Bitcoin Academy there. We're also advisors for them. Also for Representative Clyde Bunnell, who started the technology committee for the State Assembly of New York, submitted his own cryptocurrency bill that he has that's going on right now. We're advising and consulting with them as well, including Washington D.C., Philadelphia, and Atlanta. So
you're consulting with a lot of awesome people. So I want to get another question because I know we're running out of time here. You got a lot of words. I was trying to figure out what I'm gonna. I gotta get some question here. So it's like you're consulting with a lot of these municipalities, and as you can tell, because from what you just described about Wyoming, is most of these people don't really know shit about what they're trying to figure out in digital assets. They don't know what it is and how it works. And here they are now trying to create a central bank digital currency, right? So you have these stable coins, which I think they're like, oh man, it sure would be nice if we had an official stable coin of the US dollar. Let's make it, right? Which is, in my mind, is very bad. So putting your consulting hat on, somebody's coming at you and they say, hey, we should create our own, Miami-based central bank digital currency, or we should create the Washington, D.C. Fed coin. Like, how do you reply or you retort that?
Well, I have no retort or reply. So from my position, it's the proliferation of blockchain in general. And that's kind of, it keeps it simple for us and keeps it safe for myself. My thing is that whether you are a proponent of crypto and blockchain or you're against it, or you have some, whatever you feel on it, we need to have a body, a group, a task force, a commission to facilitate, to be able to properly, and it should be of industry experts, of people who actually understand what it is and the implications of it, and so that this is not so that the facilitation implementation is not mishandled, right? And because that is actually something you mentioned earlier that I want to allude to, is that we understand very, very directly that the same amazing technology that could save us all can enslave us all,
right,
immutably, if it's not handled properly.
And that's scary. And let's let's wrap with this then, because I want to look to the future. There is a lot of talk right now about central bank digital currencies, which to me is synonymous with enslavement. What do you think the governments of the world are going to do concerning their current state of fiat and converting that to digital? And how does Bitcoin, get away from the heavy hand of totalitarianism? Because it wants to be free. Where are we going?
Well, here's the thing that another quote that I always say and tell our people and our organizations, that technology always changes. Humans never change, ever. So with those two understandings, those universal truths, that is the basis in which we can project out into the future. And so, but this technology specifically is the closest. Bitcoin specifically is the closest thing that we have created, humans, that's like nature, like creating something that's like nature, something that you create and you put it out and it lives and exists in the world. It exists on its own, right? But when you think about it that way, you understand why it's so beautiful, because it is a technology that represents people. People are the biggest threat to the world, but the most precious asset, the only thing that matters, in reality, right? Because we are people, right? So if we were some other beings or something like that, but we're here. People are the only thing that matter.
I don't know. Joel's a little alienish. I'm a little concerned about Joel.
Well,
yeah, you said that, and you just ninja'd him right off the recording. You were exposing me, and he was going to come and say, well, we actually have data.
And you're like, I ain't having this. You're like, I ain't having this.
He's got these gills. He's a lizard person. and now the truth is out there. So everybody's going to be writing me and saying, yeah, Joel's.
Wow, Joel just cut him off. I see. I was prescient. I could see that was coming. And I was like, hold on.
Okay, the truth is I'm not really an alien there, Mr. Chairman, although Travis thinks I am.
That was funny, though. That was great timing.
For those who aren't watching, you're listening right as Travis said that the chairman got kicked off the stream, but he's back. Welcome back, sir.
Yeah, it's going. Well, not to be long, but I definitely understand you guys got limited time. Like I said, blockchain is my life. The crypto is my life. And people say, oh, why is that? It's not just how rich has made me or my partners, rich in love and spirit. But because we never had a chance like this. Humanity has never had a chance like this. I am a fanatic about anthropology and human history. Ancient warfare, nation states, the creation of states, technology, its effects on human beings, the moving, the coming and going. Before I took my first internship with JP Morgan, I read the House of Morgan, and the story of the Morgan family and Janice Pierpoint, and going on to JP and his being in the crux of the movement of technology and one power taking place and another power being dethroned, finding those dislocations and seeing those technologies that change the entire flow of human existence experience. Right? You think back to the Gutenberg printing press and technology that cracked the absolute power that the clergy had over, the church had over the state's life. And you think about the steam engine, the predecessor to the Industrial Revolution. It cracked the absolute rule the monarchy had over the states.
For years, you're right. We literally were like fighting the king, and the church for the money was controlled by the king, was controlled by the church, and now it's controlled by the globalist bankers. Some people don't want to believe that, but that's the way that it sort of runs down. So you're saying that Bitcoin has maybe the chance to help us get through that.
I don't want to say it too. Yes, that's what. I'm excited every morning I wake up, because it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about understanding where we are in history, seeing the force for the truth, understanding that this is the paradigm shift. And
we're on the edge. We are. We're on an edge. It's either going to teeter one way or the other, and it's like hopefully it teeters for humanity. If not, it's going to teeter towards authoritarianism. They're going to put that technology clamp down, and let's hope that we're able as a society to rise above that. I think that's
what we're seeing in China and other countries is certainly a good indicator. If Americans would have the cojones to stand up and say no, because they're going to bring their shenanigans again. That it's coming. They used COVID once to lord over us, and an unelected person, Dr. Fauci, basically came in and said, here's what we're going to do, unelected, little tyrant.
Unelected.
And we can't let that happen again. Next time, if they try to do that again, you do not comply. The answer is no.
Well, let me ask this, Joel. Let me ask the chairman about this, because Miami-Dade County has historically had some voting issues in the past, right? So how long until we're seeing blockchain and voting, right? The hanging Chad and Miami-Dade County is crazy stuff that's gone down there. But how do we avoid that? How do we use blockchain? Is that something that's on your guys' radar?
You're saying the quiet parts out loud. So. Wow.
I'm saying the quiet parts loud.
That's what we do here.
You
know what? I think we need to add that as a tagline for Bad Crypto. Stay in the quiet parts aloud. I like that. Producer Lisa, put that in future show notes. There you go.
That's good.
Me personally, I'm a person that, I'm kind of different. I feel like the more equitable and open things are, the more efficient it would be better for everybody. And you can see how you can, it should really be on merit. You know what I mean? Is that like how good, how smart, how good people are, and if you work with government, or if you're a human who lives under government, you have your opinions from your experiences of the effectiveness of government, and just kind of how it shakes out. But also, like you said, people, humans, and you understand that intrinsically, if it's bad for someone else, it's good for someone else. And so you look at the government, or you look at things, you say these things are bad. We have to say,
who's it good for? Yeah,
right. So if you want to come in and say, hey, hi, we're gonna put this thing in here, it's gonna clear all up, and there's gonna be no more theft or stealing, no more, and then you expect the people sitting up there to say, oh yes, we want this. Put this new thing that can make everything equal for everybody. Right? Do you think that's
make it equal for everybody else, not for me? I don't like it, but for them.
Yeah, they're like, sure, bring that here. We'll table this for 8 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's really interesting, Elijah. Your name, of course, that makes you a major prophet, right? The origin is Hebrew. It means my God is Yahweh. My name, Joel. It means the Lord is God. I believe that's the translation. And Travis means to cross over.
To traverse.
It was an occupational name for gatekeepers and others who collected tolls at bridges and fjords. So
get off my damn! I'm the original troll. Get off my damn bridge.
Travis Troll.
That's fantastic. The Bad Crypto Podcast, saying the quiet parts aloud. Chairman Elijah Bowdre. Sir, can you please say to us in Mandarin, you're listening to the Bad Crypto Podcast?
现在你们所做的红帽 crypto podcast. I don't know.
Show.
Close enough. Where can people find you and discover more about all the things you're doing?
Absolutely. So on my site is thebitpoint.io. That's THEBITPOINT.io. It was actually named after a bar in Lai Kwai Fong, Hong Kong, that we used to meet up every Tuesday. It had the first Bitcoin ATM in there, and the bar was named the Bitpoint. Actually, back in those early days. And also you can find me at Blockchain Bowdre, Blockchain and Bowdre, Bowdre, on Instagram and on all other platforms. Blockchain Bowdre.
Excellent. Thanks for coming on, man. We enjoyed having you. Did you enjoy being here?
Yes. Oh, and now more history has come. I've had a wonderful, sterling time. It was amazing, actually. Really, I can't wait to come back. And whatever you guys need, let me know.
Yeah, we're all about that love speech here at the Republic of Bad Cryptopia. We love everybody except communists, socialists, people.
Well, I love them too. They just don't. They're just misled. It's so easy to be misled today.
I don't love them.
Yeah.
I don't like them. I don't love them. I know that's
Well,
like
they
the
need love.
opposite of what Christ said to do.
They probably don't even
And,
love themselves, actually. A lot of them don't. And so they're so angry. So hopefully they can find a way to get through the darkness, because that's what they're living through some.
Elijah's a cool dude, and he is
That dude is awesome.
You know, he's doing some great stuff there in Miami and beyond. I mean, influencing nationwide, becoming an example for how this is done, how businesses and municipalities can accept crypto for taxes and pay their employees in crypto. And I think, you know, more and more people, like right now, if I had a job, I would love to be getting paid some of my payroll in Bitcoin, right? This would be the time to stock up, even if it's just $100, $200 a week or whatever.
Is that financial advice or no?
I'm just, for me personally, no, of course it's not.
Okay, for you personal.
Yeah, I think we've only
thought maybe
stated,
after 600 some odd episodes, I figured we maybe.
yeah, we've
This
said
is financial advice. This is financial advice. Stay bad.
No, we're not there yet.
Oh,
Why are you
not
ending
there
the
yet,
show
okay.
so fast? Why are you desperate?
I'm not. Well, there's that. So last week, Chairman Bowdre actually came on during Art Basel week. A lot of stuff going on in Miami, and he took time to hear. And then today, there's a big event in this whole week. It's a PR blockchain week here in Puerto Rico.
In fact, I believe this episode comes out on Wednesday, the 7th of December, and we will have spoken at the Coin Agenda, Michael Turpin's event on the main stage. They're talking about the past, present, and future of NFTs. And then on Friday, we're speaking at Pedro's conference, right? What's that one called?
Called Limitless. It's like without limits. Like they don't have any limits. So we can say hate speech.
So no, we can just like...
We're going to say misinformation?
They're going to say, hey, you guys have 30 minutes. And we're like, nah, you said it was limitless. We're going to keep talking.
Yeah, we're going to keep going.
No, you said no limits.
That's true.
Conference.
That is true. You know, whenever I was younger, and probably when you were younger, there was this thing, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Somehow, I don't know how that got lost. Is now it's like the words you say hurt me. And I am so hurt by the words. And actually, I was thinking about this earlier. It's like when I was younger, I had so many rude assholes saying shit to me, like very hateful stuff, because I was overweight. So I was always picked on. I was bullied and stuff. But it just fueled me. Even my stepdad was an asshole. But it fueled me to like go and do better things. Like, all right, you know what? I'm going to prove all you guys wrong. So what happens now when they don't have that to drive people to be better? What happens when you don't have any of that in society and everyone's a soy boy and nobody has any real challenges and everything's handed to them easily? Like, how does that fuel motivation?
I don't know. I just know that if I was Roger Daltrey, I wouldn't get fueled again.
Okay. All right. That's good. Fuel me once, we won't get fueled again.
I'm laughing because that was funny to me and absolutely no one else. So I think it's important.
That was a very daddish joke.
That was bad as bad can be. And you can be as bad can be as well by being a why isn't it showing the way I want it to? There we go. A member of the Republic of Bad Cryptopia's Nifty Club. Every day I see them coming in. I get notified every time somebody gets a membership NFT. And what you want to do is go to badcrypto.uncut.fm and pick up this little spinny red NFT. It's very inexpensive. You can get it for 0.002 ETH, which is about $2.53 right now. And then you get free airdrops. We've done 4 or 5 of them right now. And there's another one that we're going to be dropping in about a day, I'd say, for those who have the NFT. And that is the one you created for our previous episode, which was the show with G. Edward Griffin. So that one's coming next.
That was fun. Yeah, the creature creeps on that one. And so that's like this basically this weird creature on top of all this money, and the energy of money turned into this creature, and it's sort of walking all around. And so I like that one. And then I was playing around with it even further. I'm starting to get decent with some of the AI art stuff I'm playing around with.
You are getting
definitely
decent. It's intense. And now you've got AI art. You've got AI conversations that you can have with these bots that people set up. You can
OpenAI. OpenAI, that chat GPT is pretty insane. Some of the stuff it gets,
Yeah,
If I was in high
that is
school,
crazy.
Joel, like you know how easy it would be to write a fucking paper now.
All right, let's
Because
actually
they're not going to actually write a paper and be able to find it being plagiarized anywhere because AI wrote it.
let's actually right now, for those of you that are still with us, if you're watching the video, I'm going to pull up the video of it doing it in real time. It's this chat.openai.com, and I'm going to type in here, write a story about Joel Comm and Travis Wright of the Bad Crypto Podcast. All right, now the AI. Once upon a time in the world of cryptocurrency, there were two friends named Joel Comm and Travis Wright. They were the hosts of a popular podcast called the Bad Crypto Podcast, where they discussed the latest news and trends in the world of digital assets. Joel and Travis have been interested in cryptocurrency for quite some time, and they had both made a healthy profit from their investments in various coins and tokens. However, they also knew that the world of crypto was fraught with danger and uncertainty, and that not every investment was a sure thing. You take over here, Trav.
I can't see it. You didn't show the screen.
Oh, I'm not sharing this. There we go. There's the screen. So right here, despite. We'll take you read a paragraph.
Despite the risks, Joel and Travis were always eager to learn more about the exciting world of cryptocurrency, and they shared their knowledge and insights with their listeners on a regular basis. They were especially passionate about the potential of blockchain technology to revolutionize the way we transact and exchange value.
One day, while recording a new episode of their podcast, Joel and Travis received a tip from a trusted source about a new ICO, initial coin offering that was set to launch in a few weeks. The ICO promised to offer investors a chance to get in on the ground floor of a revolutionary new blockchain platform that promised to solve many of the challenges currently facing the industry.
Intrigued by the potential of the new ICO, Joel and Travis decided to investigate further. They spent hours poring over the white paper and conducting due diligence on the team behind the project, and they were impressed by what they found. The technology behind the platform seemed solid, and the team behind it had a proven track record of success in the crypto world.
Feeling confident about their decision, Joel and Travis decided to invest in the ICO. They each put in a substantial amount of money, and they eagerly awaited the launch of the new platform.
As this launch date approached, excitement began to build among the crypto community. The buzz around the new ICO was palpable, and many investors were eager to get in on the action.
On the day of the launch, Joel and Travis watched with bated breath as the ICO went live. Within minutes, the demand for the new tokens was overwhelming, and the price began to skyrocket.
Oh my. As the value of their investment soared, Joel and Travis could barely contain their excitement. They hit the jackpot, and they were thrilled to have been among the first investors in what promised to be a game-changing new platform.
Over the next few weeks, the value of their investment continued to climb, and they were able to sell their tokens for a huge profit. Thanks to their savvy investment, Joel and Travis had made a fortune, and they were now considered among the top experts in the world of crypto.
From that day forward, Joel and Travis continued to share their knowledge and insights with their listeners on the Bad Crypto Podcast, helping to educate and inform the wider crypto community about the exciting world of digital assets. And they lived happily ever after. Stay bad.
This is amazing. This is all I did was type write a story about Joel Comm and Travis Wright of the Bad Crypto Podcast, and the AI bot wrote this whole thing in a couple seconds. And what's really amazing is I can click try again, and it'll rewrite the story and change some of the things. This particular one it's writing about right now is about how we started the show and how the show got traction and how the show got popular.
And then how we bought a shit coin and we lost all our money. So it's different. Whoops.
This is an interesting world that we have entered into here, and it's a little scary because now a lot of people aren't going to be able to figure out what's real. This bot can write code. Code. You could say write a piece of code that does this, and it gives you a baseline for code that you can work off of and use for whatever program you want.
And San Francisco approved the use of robots to use weaponized force against people. Great.
Thanks.
This
Thanks,
is
California.
AI and the bad. Welcome to the Bad AI podcast, where most of AI is bad, but some of it's good. But the bad stuff you really don't ever see. But we probably don't have much time left.
Yeah. So I typed "stay bad" in here, and it says, despite their success, Joel and Travis remain true to their roots and stayed true to their bad approach to crypto. They continued to push boundaries and challenge the status quo, refusing to be swayed by the conventional wisdom of the industry.
Oh man, we should write teasers like this. The next teaser we should write is with AI.
That is funny. You know what? I'm going to do that. The teaser for the next episode will be, I'll type in, write a teaser for the Bad Crypto podcast, and it will do it, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the show today, and be sure to go. Hey, there's been a couple people out there that like to be super vocal with their opinions that they don't. When you hurt my feelings, and we could really use some more 5-star reviews from you, our fans. So if you can go over to iTunes or wherever it is that you enjoy, go drop us a 5-star review and maybe be funny. And also, we have our fan appreciation show that's coming up in the not too distant future, and we've got some comments and voicemails coming in, but we would like some more. So email us with questions, comments, feedback, stay bad, jokes, whatever, at badcryptopodcast@gmail.com, or call us on the Bad Crypto hotline, which is open 24/7. If you're up, you get insomnia, like you're worried about, the price of Bitcoin, you can't sleep, call us. Consider us your AI therapists at 708-885-9030, 24/7, 708-885-9030, and leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and we'll use AI to construct any responses back. That's basically where you send us an email, you're getting straight back. Here's the email. We'll construct a response to this AI. Hey, we're really sorry for the offensiveness of our podcast. But if you can leave a review, make sure to use keywords like blockchain, crypto, Bitcoin, all of those within the keywords in your review. That way, when the algorithm is choosing which ones to rank, it ranks ours.
And I'll tell you what, once they've got AI down to duplicate our voices, then we'll just type in the subject for the podcast and have it do the whole show. We can't live forever. All they're going to have to, we discussed this, I know, years ago I think one of the things, I created this mastermind group of all my favorite people throughout the history of time that I created in 2008, 2009, and I've just improved it year after year. I want to get, eventually those are going to be powered by AI. That's what I always saw. I was like, man, I could take in all the words that John Lennon said, all the interviews John Lennon said, all the songs that he wrote, all the things that he drew, and all of his opinions on things, take those and then have conversations with him in his voice as it's John Lennon. That's coming. We're not far away from that kind of capabilities. And I've always wanted to see that in VR or AR, have one of these people following me around in AR would be awesome, have conversations with them. So things are changing, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. Hopefully the bad side of AI, because AI doesn't think it's a robot. AI thinks it's a human at this point. If you ask it, it thinks it's a human. And so what's going to happen when it realizes that humans are violent and risky, then they're going to want to get rid of us probably. So it's just weird. We become a power source. It's the Matrix, right? They leverage our energy.
That's what it was.
To power their civilization. So how's that for ending on a happy note? I thought according to the story that was written, we lived happily ever after. This is dystopian ever after.
All right, we lived happily ever after until the AI robots took over
and told us to eat, boop, and stay mad. The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor.
111 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0. Stay back.